Hello, welcome to today's Back to the City. Today I'm excited to have the third of 4 interviews with all 4 of the acts eventually that are playing this coming Thursday at Mortimers for, you came up with this title, thank you Rich, Lyricist Lounge Minneapolis Style, which is this month's Back to the City showcase. This is Rich Garvey. Welcome, Rich Garvey.
Hello, 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 Earthlings.
Hello, Earthlings.
Greetings,
We were just talking
greetings.
about how it looks like he is emerging from another realm. Hello,
Yes.
hence the Hello, Earthlings.
Yes.
So I've been listening back in the run-up to this interview to Man of the People, and also to Gensu.
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 Yeah, yes.
Also to Gensu.
It's a sword, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese sword. Yeah,
Gensu
yeah.
is an unreleased song.
Yes.
Yeah, which is going to be on the Groove Scenario compilation.
Yes, I love how you say the scenario.
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 The Groove Scenario
So when you
compilation.
sing, here we go, yo, here we go, yo. So you say
how
scenario?
does it sound?
Oh.
Just what is the scenario?
Okay.
That's how it sounds when I do it. The lyric that really struck me in the song that's on the Groove Scenario compilation, there's reference to street mythology and then the philosophy of Plato, which transitions into focusing on this new sense of self. This encapsulates something really important about a lot of your lyrical content, the confidence that one is acting from a place of integrity, and it's known because it's tried and tested in a particular context.
I'm just really at a point where it's like I will not take any obstacle. It won't, like I won't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I do know what you're saying.
I have a purpose and I know what I need to do, so it's
Yeah.
like I just have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really give a damn what obstacle happens or what. There's always setbacks, and it's not gonna stop me from doing what I need to do because I'm a creative person. I always want to create. So,
Yeah.
you know, so that's what I mean. But also the ability to monetize on that without losing my integrity and without losing who I want to be as a person. So,
That
you know what I'm
comes
saying?
through really clear, even a couple of years ago on these songs. In I'm Talking All That, money's not the object, but I need it though.
Yeah.
Is a truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a not unimportant truth. So that's interesting that when you were talking about your ethos and where you're at just as a person, you use the word integrity, and that really comes through for me in the music too. I'm the dope, I can aid your addiction. No, I'm just a man on a mission. Like that could almost be the catchphrase for the group of 4 that are performing at this event. Like Chance has his song My Own Dope. That's a really good metaphor, I think, for thinking about the capacity to consistently act from this place of integrity, like spiritual integrity.
I'm at the point where I'm not letting no random rappers just like take beats from me or whatever. And plus I've been scorned by really goofy dudes and, you know what I'm saying, and other individuals that are not male. But I ain't even gonna go there. But like it's just learning experiences of I'm just not gonna waste my energy and my time because my time is valuable. And I'm somebody who's trying to also give back and like really teach. I'm trying to teach youth and do things like that as well.
No one's
So
going to throw you off
I don't have time to just waste with people who are like half stepping or trying to start their career. Like I'm not your
Yeah,
like,
and
you know what I'm saying?
there might
It's
just be a lack of awareness, perhaps,
Yeah.
as to what's respectful and you know, how to
People take your
navigate it.
kindness for weakness is the end of the moral of the story. They take your kindness for weakness, and I become jaded because of certain kinds of music and things, and it makes me feel reclusive. I feel like I just want to step away because I'm somebody that really value the creative process.
Yeah.
So I feel like when music and the environment of the music is a certain way, it makes me want to step back for a second and just be in my own head and figure out how I can. It's almost like I'm figuring a way to navigate through what I see around me by being myself and something that I'm going to be happy with.
Yeah.
And if I'm not there yet, and I don't even know if I think I'm more this way now because I'm older. You know what I'm saying?
And you're more that way because you have the intention to be that way.
Yeah. You know?
The intention
so
changes.
Things are different now. I just don't really give a damn about trying to be seen or whatever, even though I'm supposed to be an artist and I'm supposed to be seen. but I'm not really one of those people that really desires to be seen just to be seen, because I
Yeah.
don't do music just to be popular to whatever. I do music because I want to create a vibe and an energy, and I
Yeah.
want to also give you some insight, and not even just to be. It don't even have to be not like you know, whatever, a real philosophical song, but just something that you can vibe with, even if it's just energy. You know,
Yeah.
I want to give you that. You know.
Yeah, we don't need the lyrics to be all cerebral
Yeah.
and clever and philosophical.
Yeah, it
Sometimes,
doesn't. It
often
doesn't
they
have
are,
to be all. It doesn't have
but
to be like that all the time. And
Yeah.
like that's what I realized. Oh, Man of the People is one of those things that I realized. So I would say if you listen to my other music, you would probably say it's more maybe conscious driven. But I guess everything I make is conscious driven. You know, because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
Yeah.
just different
That's a
flavors of
true-
my sides of my personality, I guess.
And it's
that
a
you
truer
get.
way to be a man of the people, too.
Yeah.
You know, to accept all the parts of yourself, to give them voice, to just make sure that it is coming from a place of authenticity. So,
Yeah.
like, your version of this part that someone else can relate to, just have that be pure you, pure
Yeah.
authentic you.
Exactly.
And don't have it,
Yeah,
as much
because
as you,
I
as
don't,
much as
I
you can.
don't, yeah, because I don't look at people. I value people, and I value people that give good energy and give good insight and things like that. I feel like those people are very valuable, and they need to be treasured, because we live in a world with a lot of bullshit and a lot of
Yeah.
misinformation. So the people who are giving you good information and the people who are giving you genuine love and genuine respect,
Yeah.
you should really honor that. That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of a lost thing, and that's another reason why I just don't want to be seen, because I'm
Yeah.
I'm not looking for this kind of fake love or whatever, you know.
And that's
you know, because I feel like if you know where I am, if you really know who I am, you know where I am. Just come see me. Those people know who I am. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but then once they prove me wrong, it's like, damn, I can't mess with you no more. It's over. It's really tough for me to, even if we're back, we're just cordial now.
Yeah.
Now we're just acquaintances. We can never go beyond. There's like a barrier.
Yeah.
You know, just because you know what I mean?
You can
Like
read dynamics, and
it's
respect
different.
is so important.
Yeah, family is the only person that I would probably try to maybe step across that line with.
Yeah.
But if you're not family to me and you violate on that level, then it's really tough.
Absolutely.
Just because I just feel like I try to be 100 with people and 100% honest. If I mess up, it might take me a day, but I will apologize. I don't prolong. If I feel like I really messed up, it's gonna work in my conscience, and I gotta address it. You know, I gotta be honest,
Accountability.
and
You
gotta be accountable. It's
Yeah.
very important. That's part of being a man. You know, you have to
It's
be
part of being a
accountable.
human.
Yeah, but I feel like people take that as weakness. It's really not. It's strength to owning being wrong. I'm wrong. I
Right.
apologize.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
then-
my fault.
yeah,
You
and
know
then
what
you're
I'm
gonna-
saying?
and
Like
then we
this,
grow.
that's a real thing. You have to take that, because that's how you strengthen your relationships, by being accountable with that. Because people are like, you know what? I
Really showing
respect
up.
that. You owned up to that. You didn't try to half step or make an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, that's an important thing. You know, it goes far. I think maybe that would make me change my mind if they were really that genuine about it. If it depends, you know, it does depend on the situation. But certain things, you just cannot, you know, especially if I don't know you for a long period of time, because I feel like most of my friends, the people who I'm really close with, I've known them now for a period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some people that just come through and we just click and we just tight, you know, and it just works like that. We just on the same wavelength energy-wise, and it just works like that, you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm a spiritual person, so I
Yes.
feel like I can sense when people energy is right.
Yes.
And it just works like that, you know.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know exactly what you mean. I love how other directed your and pretty selfless your focus more on the self is, because you have this awareness that you want to bring this type of energy, a certain type of energy, and it's important, and our culture can benefit,
Right.
from an influx of this certain type of energy. And so unless you're holding yourself accountable to that high level of spiritual integrity and coming from that place, then you're doing yourself and the culture a disservice. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's really how I feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell that's how
Yeah.
you feel.
Yeah.
I can tell that's how you feel.
I might have to. I'm definitely gonna rewind. I'm probably gonna take audio from this because it's really good. It's interesting to have somebody
Realize
else's
these things about
perspective.
yourself.
Because I'm literally telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're understanding my whole framework right now.
And
Yeah.
I'm seeing it in
Yeah.
these, just the record that I happen to be listening to
Yep.
from a while back. It's a lot of it is already there, but it's more intentional now. Yeah.
I think my biggest struggle as an artist is I really see now that I start teaching youth. I realize what my weaknesses are, like even in a higher definition. And I can use it as teaching points. You know.
What are your weaknesses?
So one of my main weakness of an artist from back then,
Yeah.
that I felt was I didn't have control of my voice, meaning that I was as a result. Number two was I felt self-conscious about my voice and the fact that I didn't want to be. Number three, be known as an artist that was like always angry. You know, I didn't want to come across like I'm always angry.
Not that there's
I wanna
anything wrong with anger. It has
Yeah.
its place.
It
but you didn't want to
does.
be defined as always angry.
Yes, I didn't want to be that kind of like the kind of rappers that yell all the time like DMX or
The kind of rapper
like,
that the
I
kids
was
that you're
pissed-
teaching
Mystical or something, just
dancing
always
by.
screaming all the time. I didn't want to be like that. I really admire, I was talking to my friend earlier, we were talking about artists like Curtis Mayfield and Marvin Gaye and how they sang on records. Real sensual and smooth.
Yeah, but
I really, like really, like it's almost like they're whispering in their ear while you're laying next to each other, that kind of
that
real intimate vibe,
rather than one part, like the angry part, taking the lead
Yeah.
and taking over,
Right.
we get the intimacy
Yeah.
of a full, whole human being who is growing and leaning more and more into their wholeness and encouraging other people too. So
Yeah.
that's this like pillow talk
Yeah.
image works really well. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
really is.
here I am in my full reality, here you can be too, and there's something sexy and authentic about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that's why we go to that image.
Every story has a different way of approaching it and a different way of doing things. So I don't want to just always be or just like just because I'm just
Life
a
is
mad
more
rapper.
nuanced.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
rap, yeah. Like it's
Because
like
that's not how you are as a human all the time.
Yeah,
like we
it's
feel
not.
that emotion, and and that provides release, and it's an aspect of reality that a lot of people are avoiding, allowing themselves to feel
Right.
that anger, and that's not good. But that's not the whole story. You're aware that there are nuances to your story, and you want the whole of your story to come through.
Yeah.
There's a consistency and a not trying to impress,
Yeah.
or by extension, a not using of people. To some
Yeah.
extent, if we're trying to impress
I
someone,
don't want to use anybody.
Exactly.
That's not my
Yeah.
intention.
Absolutely.
But I do value my time because don't waste my time. You waste my time, then I'm gonna have to charge you. That's just really
Yep.
what it is. But like for the most part, I do a lot of things out of love. Most of the time I do, but.
even the boundary setting, even
Yeah,
the cutting
that's what
people
I
out
mean.
is
Like
coming
people that
from
don't understand.
to preserve that,
Yeah, but it's not
to
even.
keep that flowing.
Yeah, man. I just don't. That's not the only message I want to convey. But I feel like it's important that human beings have that exchange of respect.
Yeah.
My man? What is the great? He's this guy Jay Prince, Rap A Lot Records CEO. He owns like a couple islands in
A couple of islands.
Yeah, what's the country called? Belize.
Okay.
In Belize, he owns a couple islands in Belize, and he's CEO of Rap A Lot Records out of Houston, and his book was called, his autobiography is The Art of Respect, and he navigate through like street dudes, business people, and he's built a Fortune 500 company and worth millions of dollars, and he did this with that as he had his principles set.
Yeah.
Before you can make any moves as a person, you want to blow up as an artist or you think you're the shit or whatever, you got to set that framework and that foundation before you even
Be respected and be respectful.
Yeah.
And respect and love, I just feel more and more cannot exist without one another.
Yes. Factual.
Factual.
Yep.
Yes.
You're right.
They're two sides of the same
They're
coin.
definitely the two sides of the same coin because there's a sense, you know what I mean? There's a sense of reverence, and love to me it takes different forms. It's not a one thing. You know what I'm saying? There's many definitions for what love is. It can be shown in it don't have to be like you can love somebody when you just met them, and it can be strictly platonic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with, there's different forms and shapes and how it can morph itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah.
And often it's very much outside of the patterns, like the conventions within a particular culture. Obviously, most love songs are about romantic love or hooking up or whatever. And the type of love that we're talking about, which is universal but in many different forms, is more often than not taking those specific forms.
So what's funny? It just gave me an epiphany now when people say I love love. It's like, no, you don't love love. You love romantic love. That's the kind of love you want. You like the chase. You like that. So like that's a different form of love. It comes in many different forms. You got the love for children, which is your unconditional love. That's beyond, because that's your flesh. That's your that's the image of you.
We can cultivate that unconditional love for everyone, just as long as we're not putting ourselves at risk by not having the good boundaries and not receiving the respect.
Exactly. There's definitely boundaries. You know what? The one thing I would say now, to me now, you're giving me a lot of epiphanies in this conversation. This is really great. Yeah. This is really dope.
Forget the music.
No, forget the music. So that's what I'm about. Unlocking things in your brain is really connecting closer to yourself. Those are the type of things that I'm about. So I respect that. But I was going to say, people that keep you trapped in conversations, to me, that is not love right there. Let me have this conversation. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my thing. I feel like people that just want to rant and just want you to hear that without like reciprocating or having
they just want to say the same thing to anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. It's like, that's not a like loving, respectful exchange.
It's not. Like, why are you this way? Like, it's like, is your spouse not wanting to hear your shit no more? Like, what is this?
I think it's just a lack of awareness. So to be someone who is graced with an awareness of like what a respectful and loving exchange is, and also to be graced with an inability to be inauthentic without feeling really terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a balance, because you're like, I respect you, we work together, or you're my friend, we're homies, but like, bro, let me have this conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you just want to talk me to death? Like, we can talk about your music tomorrow or whatever the situation. Like, I got you, bro. Let me go do my thing now. You know?
This seems we're enjoying this exchange. Neither of us seem to want to talk very much about music.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about music.
Let's do it. Let's talk about the music.
An interesting contrast to the type of person that we have been imagining as exemplary, the person who is confidently there, not using anyone, engaging in, able to see when there's an opportunity for respectful, loving exchange of energy, and to share their awareness of the importance of that. So this is one person, and we aspire to be like that kind of person. Let's think quite intentionally about how the type of person at the other end of the spectrum that's depicted in Then They Got You. The type of person that flashes a badge to make something happen. So this is a cop, the type of person that flashes a badge to make something happen. And even back then, 2 years ago, you're asking, or more than 2 years ago, tell me where's your values, is the question.
And based off of what we're talking about, all this deep introspective stuff, it just makes me think that, a lot of that comes from that machismo. It's like, this kind of empathy for human beings, which ends up being respect. You know what I'm saying, in different forms. You can, as a regard, you know what I'm saying, you can take it in different ways. But this kind of regard for human beings is at the wayside, because in this person's mind, it's all about, I want to establish my power and my dominance first. That's more important to me than, and a lot of these people are not, so you're in an urban area, and a lot of these police that are hired from these areas are not from these areas, and they're working with individuals that they've never worked with, and they have their preconceived notions, and some of them have been taught a certain way. I'm not going to blanket statement, because there's cool cops too. There's a few. I've met a couple, but there's far and a few compared to some of the situations I've had. I've had so many first account situations. I've had things putting on my record. I had a obstruction of legal process, a bullshit gross misdemeanor that affected me from employment. Which was nonsense because I didn't know my rights. You know, knowing your rights is another thing that's important too, because it's like you got to understand that they're going to violate you at certain times, and you have to have the ability to fight, because there's sometimes that I am later on in life where I fought a ticket and let's say, or I fought a citation or a charge, and I went to court and the cop was in there or whatever the situation was. It's almost like you just got to go through the process, the frustration of that, just so they can, you know, I don't know, add it to their tally of that they're doing their job or whatever the situation is. It's just, there's just a lack of basic respect. That's the type of things that I think about when I make music too, you know.
Absolutely. And
that goes in my anger and my frustration, you know. It's
That's
tough to be somebody who's just happy all the time. Sometimes you just feel like you're just really angry about everything.
Yeah, and
you know?
wouldn't be the person of integrity and authenticity if you were happy all the time in this context.
Yes. And that's why I feel like I don't know how Drake does it. Like, how the hell do you go on TV, just be happy all the time? I kind of see him get a little teary-eyed in his last interview. But for the most part, he's really been able to put on this same facade and the same kind of image. I don't think it's a facade, but this one side of himself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just been pushing that out. But now I think he's having to get more in touch because, you know, his little rap beefs and all this other stuff.
Yeah, we can choose an image as an artist that, you know, especially if it's very intentional. This is what I want to do with my art.
Yes.
There's no need for all of my parts to be
out
reflected
there. Exactly.
in it, because it's not about me. Like, especially if we're thinking about the, you know, awareness of like what energy and what vibe to kind of increase. Like, I don't need to bring these parts of me. They have no role in that particular mission.
Vibe. Yep.
But we can, if there's too much of a disjunct between the image and the
I
human,
agree. Yes.
Then,
see, that's where you go. See, that's where me as a person, that's what happens, and I'm morphing and I'm trying different things because I can't just give you one side of myself all the time, and there's way more to me than you even know, and I'm still learning myself as well. I'm still discovering things. The more I'm learning and being more hands-on, learning gear and playing keys and doing these type of things, I'm just tapping more into myself, and I'm meditating more, and I'm really trying to understand myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that helps others understand themselves too.
Exactly.
Because we're all connected.
Yes.
Everything's connected.
There's no reason to put on a veil and a facade, and that's what a lot of I see. That's another reason why I feel like I've created this. I don't know if it's self-induced, but I have this. I feel like naturally I'm an outgoing person, but I have this anxiety. It's like a big deal for me to go out because I know that people have these veils, these fake personas that they create, and they give off this certain energy because I'm on a wavelength. That's what I'm not just looking at you physically, I'm looking at you on a spiritual wavelength. And I feel like once I know you're not genuine, and I can feel that and I can see that, so it's like I don't really want to engage, and there's a lot of that in the so-called scene or whatever you want to call it. I'm too grown for that. I don't really care about whatever facade or machismo you want to create. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm interacting with you, go ahead. You can do that in your videos. You can do all of that. But if I'm coming at you real, and I'm coming at you honest. I don't need to be aggressive. I don't need to be attacking or anything like that. I'm just coming as myself, you know what I'm saying, and exchanging respect first and foremost. Now in this generation, people are more hands-on. So now I'm connecting with so many dope cats, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are younger cats, you know, and some of the OGs too. There's people that I really respect now that really, you know, so there's exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, there's a bunch of sheep, you know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of sheep.
Are there locals that you're excited to collaborate with currently, that maybe you're beginning to collaborate with?
Me and Longshot, we got some music. We actually were going to do a whole EP, and it fell through because it was a bunch of nonsense that I don't want to talk about, but it definitely had nothing to do with me and Longshot. It was a extenuating circumstance, but we had some fuego on deck. But my next up-and-coming project, me and him have a song that it was supposed to be released, but it's going to be on there.
Nice.
Yeah, we might even do it at the show. We'll see.
Longshot is definitely a person of integrity and authenticity.
He's dope. Yes, I told him that he bring it back up DMX again, but I told him that he reminds me of DMX in the way of when he performs. I've seen many DMX performers. I've only seen one at Soundset, obviously, but not obviously. I don't know that, but I saw him at Soundset. But before then, I used to watch a lot of videos of him performing, and he just pours everything out on stage, and that's exactly what Longshot does.
Yeah,
it's that same kind of energy where it's like, I think he is going through therapy. He's really releasing, but he's also trying to connect with you on the most more stripped down level. Like, I'm really giving you me. I ain't never met you before, but we're gonna really feel like we connected.
Yeah,
by the time I get on stage.
Bedside manner. Again.
Yeah, bedside manner. That's I might have to write that down. My phone is dead. Bedside manner. Yeah, we might have to come back to that one.
That'll make the cut.
The bedside manner.
Watch the end of the interview.
I might have to. We might have to.
A song.
That might be an interesting thing to talk about, bedside manner, using that metaphorically.
Yeah,
dope. Good stuff. Yeah.
I'll do some bars on this song.
Okay. I bet. Bet. If you really trying to do it, let's do it.
Yeah, so long as I can use the word scenario.
Scenario, of course. Oh man.
I think that's a pretty good note to wrap up on.
Yeah. Really dope. Yeah, that was really dope.
Bedside Manner featuring MC Simon Calder with his buzz about what kind of scenario.
Everybody on the show is extremely dope. You're extremely dope.
Thank you, Rich.
Everything is dope.
Poster's dope? You think the poster's dope?
I'm so happy. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew you were a good person. And I didn't even know you were gonna book any of these artists. And at first I heard Longshot was gonna be, I was like, oh, that's lit. As soon as you said that, that's good enough for me. I don't even care. But then these are really dope people. So
there's gonna be some good energy exchanged.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
And good music and people who really are tapped in, and understand how to give a great performance and project themselves and how to connect with people. They really know how to do that. So
and beyond a personal performance, with all of these acts, I think it's an invitation for an exchange of energy. Like when I last saw Longshot performing at Mortimers, he was doing such a good job at getting the crowd that wasn't initially moved, that seemed reluctant to move or dance or whatever. Like his opening track on Parades is called Just Dance.
Yes.
And that is really significant, existentially, spiritually.
Yes.
Like, he embodies that. I will be dancing, you'll be dancing, and this is significant. It's not just come and see 4 rappers do their thing. It's come and be part of this exciting energetically, what is going on. There's something exciting. We've talked a lot about it in these interviews, and we'll talk a little bit about it before and after the sets at the show. Yeah. But we've done more or less enough talking, and we just get to experience it. We just get to
because I'm a rambling cow. That's why. That's crazy. For real.
I'm Simon Calder. This is Rich Garvey. This has been Back to the City, and there'll be another episode next Thursday at 10 p.m. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Rich, for coming in. That was really fun.
Thank you. This was great. Great interview.